What's up? Good morning. Late morning, everyone. It is Friday, October 2nd, and I am on my way to a public land quota hunt here in Tennessee. So, hunt started first thing this morning, actually. A couple of hunting buddies are already over here hunting. I had to work. I had to get some stuff out the door this morning before I could come hunt. So it is 10:54 right now. I should be where I'm going here depending on if this truck gets out of my way or not. I should be there in probably 25 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on how long I have to stay behind this guy. But yeah, so came up here and scouted last week, brought the fam up here and scouted some new areas, found a couple of really good places I'm gonna try to target here first off. I've been texting with my buddies that are out here so far today, and one of them, in the place he's hunting, he says it's extremely quiet. He hasn't seen or heard anybody. My other buddy, he went in and got set up this morning first thing, and right afterwards he had somebody else come in and set up 100 yards from him. So it seems to be pretty scattered and random up here. I'm hoping that my number one spot is open. It is in a easily overlooked area, but I don't know. We'll see when we get here. Okay, I'm near my spot now. I made it about 3 miles so far. I've seen 2 vehicles parked to hunt, and I've passed a couple that are leaving. Now maybe they're changing areas, maybe they're leaving for lunch. It's 11:15 now. Right up here is the pull-off for where I scouted the other day and saw the best sign with persimmons, a whole bunch of acorns, and a winter wheat field. And the field was just tore up with tracks. So, fingers crossed, it's right here. Is there anyone in here? So far it doesn't look like it. Back here and look. You have to stop driving right back here. It does not look like anybody has drove down through here today. Okay, where am I at? Alright, I'm here. I am here. There's no one here. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Ground is littered with persimmons right in here. It's just covered. There's deer tracks all in here too, but there's a lot of persimmons here. I'm seeing no boot tracks anywhere in here. Work my way back around back down here. There's deer tracks all in here. Just like the other day. I'm finally in the stand here. It took me a little while. The first tree I went to was a little too large for my lone wolf hand climber. I was really stretching the belts all the way to their maximum. So I had to come over and come up this red oak over here instead of the poplar that I was trying to go up before. But I'm up here, I've got everything set, got my camera. Took a little bit longer than I was hoping because it is my first hang and hunt of the year. So you know, I set the stand up the other day at my house just to knock the rust off after not using it all season or all summer. So, but I'm up here now. Back here behind me is a really steep drop off into a deep holler. This is a finger that runs off back through here behind me. Down here is all hardwoods with a little stream in the bottom, a wet weather stream. Back over on that side is an old clear cut. It's probably, I'd say 5 or 6 years old. It's so freaking thick you can't go through there, but it's prime bedding area. I'm over here overlooking this winter wheat field, and then about 300 yards that direction is a cornfield. So I'm hoping that those deer either come up out of this bottom from down in the holler way down deep and come up to this way to feed before dark, or they come out of this bedding area and they work this field edge, which is, this field edge is just tore up with tracks. windy. Can't hear anything. The tree is swaying. I don't know where this wind's coming from. It was supposed to be a 3 to 5 mile per hour steady breeze today. Oh well. Been here about an hour and a half. Haven't seen a squirrel, turkey, deer, nothing. Traffic's starting to pick up. I can hear the main road. There's a lot of cars and trucks going in and out. I don't know if it's people coming in late, people leaving early, or if it's people just moving spots because they're not seeing anything. Extremely slow afternoon. The wind has changed direction. It was coming out of the north earlier. Now it's coming out of the west. It's calm right now, but about every 3 to 5 minutes or so, we have a gust of probably 15 to 20 miles an hour comes through, and it's just blowing stuff everywhere. I keep getting leaf particles and stuff in my eyes. Got some really dark clouds starting to roll in overhead. I'm heading out of here. They closed this gate. They closed this gate shortly after dark, so everybody has to be out by a certain time. So there's a whole string of trucks here in front of me leaving. I got a little bit of video there at the end. I didn't have my telephoto lens on, so I couldn't zoom in on those deer, but I had 3 does come out and feed around there in front of me for a long time, and they never would leave. And I had to just start taking my stand down, or climbing down, and I sat there and I climbed down, packed up my backpack, got everything ready, and they just stood there feeding, 60, 70 yards away. They'd look over at me ever so often and then just go about their business. They weren't scared or spooked or nothing. And then as soon as I stepped out of the woods, they kind of went, they spooked and hopped over into the wood line. But anyway, not exactly the afternoon I was expecting or hoping for. I'll see what kind of gathering there is over here at the check-in station and see if they've posted the harvest results from today. Otherwise, I can look it up when I get home. Just look it up online. But I got all kinds of drainage sitting out there in that wind. I got a voicemail from my buddy Dave. It looks like he left at 2 o'clock. He's been trying to text me, but I had no signal. And so he left me a voicemail at 2:20, 2:30, something like that, saying, "Hey man, I drove back to the front gate. Give me a call." And then he went on home. So I don't know, but that wind was crazier than I expected. It was not supposed to be howling like that, so I can imagine it did run a few people off today. It wasn't cold, but that wind, you know, that wind made it, had a little bit of nip in the air, but you couldn't hear anything with it. I mean, it was rough. So anyway, I'm getting out of here, get home, get stuff repacked and resituated for tomorrow. So see you then. Oh, what's up, everybody? Well, last night did not go according to plan at all. Yeah, let's just say it was a mess. It was a disaster. I was basically up till 4 a.m. sick, kind of call it sick. It's sinus congestion, allergy junk. I really think it's from where I was sitting there and all that wind yesterday, and just, I mean, I had stuff in my eyes constantly. I didn't sneeze or anything, but I could feel stuff in my nose and sinuses. And when I get sinus congestion, I had sinus surgery a few years ago. When I get sinus congestion, it's like extreme in that the roots of my teeth go up into my sinus cavities, and so all of my teeth hurt. So it's not just like, you know, oh, I'm congested, I'm stuffy. I mean, it's like I can't eat, my whole face hurts, my teeth hurt, my throat starts to just kind of swell up a little bit, kind of up, you know. It's just really weird. So I had a miserable, terrible night. Finally fell asleep around 4 a.m. and got up around 7 and said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go give it a shot. So I'm getting up here a lot later than I expected. Talked to Dave last night for a while. I think he said he saw 12 or 15 deer yesterday, and they were all feeding on acorns, which is the thing that I really did not have. I mean, I had persimmons, which surprisingly the deer weren't going to. I had the winter wheat plot, and I had some little red oak acorns. He found a cluster of sawtooth oaks, and they were raining down, and he said there were deer in front of him for about 3 hours straight. So I don't know where any sawtooth oaks are, but I know where there's some white oaks, and I'm just gonna go over here and give it a go. I'm hoping I can get in, get set up, hunt all through lunch, hopefully, most likely. And as people leave to go eat lunch somewhere, or as they come in the afternoon to hunt, a lot of times they'll stir the deer up and get them moving around. So I'm hoping I can get in, get set up, and let this movement by other hunters over the next 2 or 3 hours cause the deer to get up and move around. Buck only, you know, hit or miss. I mean, you never know what you're going to run into, what you're going to find, but let's go give it another shot. All right, I'm going to try this spot here out. I drove past it. There's nobody anywhere around. I've only seen one other hunter in here so far this morning. I passed several people leaving already, but this is just a little corner here in between two clear cuts. I'm situated here now. I'm located on a narrow strip of land of timber here. Pines up the head of the strip. Hardwoods down here at the end of the strip. Behind me is a very large clear cut from 2 or 3 years ago. Directly in front of me here is a cornfield of about 5 or 6 acres. Diagonally here is a oak savanna, very large oak savanna. So there's a lot of just sporadic white oaks just randomly left through the savanna with a lot of undergrowth below it. Those white oaks are just raining acorns down. So I'm set up here on a road that goes between the clear cut cornfield and the oak savanna. I want to sit here for a few hours and see if maybe I can catch some deer traveling between bedding area in the clear cut and feeding area over here in this corn and the oak savanna over here. So acorns just keep dropping all around, so I'm really hoping something comes through here. I checked the harvest report all day yesterday. 2 spikes were killed all day. That's pretty bad. This is the opening weekend hunt for this WMA. And if you have 2 spikes killed with 400 quota tags, that's pretty poor. Well, I just got a text message from Dave. He didn't even come this morning. He woke up at 4 a.m. sick. I fell asleep at 4 a.m. after being sick all night. So, he said he just turned his alarm off and rolled over and went back to sleep. Or he went to sleep eventually, but he turned his alarm off. So, he's not coming today. And I just talked to my other buddy that's hunting way on the other side of the WMA, and he hasn't seen anything this morning. There's a lot of cars leaving. There's a lot of vehicles leaving. I mean, it's just a while ago there was 5 or 6 in a row, just bumper to bumper heading out of here. And I have another hunt here in a month, so I could turn that into a scouting trip, or turn this into a scouting trip for a couple hours if I have to. So all's not lost. I mean, if I don't see a buck, if I don't let a shot go, it's not a big deal. I can use this as scouting for my hunt next month, which is actually muzzleloader hunt, and it's actually closer to the rut. So we'll see what happens here for the next hour or so. You know, something else just came to me. Today is a UT football home game day, and it's at noon. In the past, on game days, whether it be on the river or in the woods or whatever, I've noticed that you can have the place all to yourself, especially if it's a noon game. People won't go fish, people won't go hunt, they want to stay home, have a football party, tailgate, do whatever. Obviously here, they're a long ways away from the stadium, so it's not like they're going, plus COVID, they're only allowing, 22,000 people in the stadium. But, I imagine a lot of these people leaving at 11:30 because they were trying to get home or get to their camper or whatever to either watch or listen to the football game. That would explain why there were so many people leaving all at the same time. Traffic is slowed down coming in and out, mainly going out. But I'm starting to get hungry. My soup and everything is in the truck, which is about 150 to 200 yards that way, up the hill, up the road over here. I think I'm going to go ahead and start taking my stuff down. I'm going to go to the truck, heat up my soup, and then I'm going to just walk across this savanna and go into this other section of hardwoods over on the other side of the corn in the savanna, because it sounds like a freaking monsoon of acorns coming down over there. I don't know that I'll hunt it. If nothing else, I can scout it for the hunt that I have coming up here in probably 4 weeks or so. So I'm going to start taking my stuff down and get out of here for a little bit. Okay, let's make our way back to the truck here. Oh, man. Go get some lunch and decide what I'm going to do this afternoon. I would like to come check out the other side of this oak savanna. See, they've left a few oak trees standing here. white oaks, and they were just raining acorns down. See, the ground's covered here. The ground is covered. Look at that. That looks like it's wormy, but the ground is just littered with white oak acorns here. I'm not seeing many deer tracks though. Well, that's quite the view back over through there. Alright, now I've found the deer tracks here in this softer dirt. A lot of small prints though, nothing large. There's a really fresh one. There's a dog. Huh. Coyote probably. So they are active in here. They are feeding on these acorns. There's some more fresh tracks. I'm gonna call it a day. I scouted a couple places. Went back to where I was hunting yesterday and walked the perimeter of that where I saw those deer coming into the field and going out. And there are some huge tracks in that field. So I'm thinking that by the time my hunt comes around in a month, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, most of the acorns will have stopped dropping by then, and the deer are going to be focusing and transitioning over probably to food plots at that point. And that winter wheat food plot should be kind of hitting its peak, or not its peak, but at least building up at that point. So, and then I found another very large winter wheat food plot, isolated way kind of out in the middle of nowhere, unmarked road. You got to drive and twist your way down, just a dirt track to get to it. So so I marked both of those on Onyx. I came over here and walked out this oak savanna, and the far end of the oak savanna is just really tall, mature pine trees. All of the acorns and everything are all up here on this end where I was sitting this morning. So but there were a lot of tracks. Those deer are following that road going through the oak savanna. My guess is going between bedding and feeding area. My guess is they're probably bedding in that oak savanna in the thick stuff, and then they're coming up that road getting to those acorns. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. My sinuses are starting to flare up. My whole face is starting to hurt. My teeth are starting to hurt. So I'm just gonna go ahead and head home and go home and get some medicine before I find myself in a similar situation as I was in last night. So traffic's starting to come back in. People are heading back in to hunt for the afternoon, evening. But I'm calling it a day. So until next time, just good luck if you get out there. Stay safe and God bless.